April 17th, 2025, located at Fort Sam Houston Professional Development Center. Agenda item 1 is going to be the call to order, pledge of allegiance, pledge to the Texas flag, and the inspirational moment.
Mr. President, board members, faculty, staff, students, Ms. Hall, good morning and welcome. I want to give you a little background on our pledgers and our inspirational moment, but inspirational speaker. But I was looking at the calendar today. Folks, do you realize it's May 1st?
Yes.
Tomorrow, 3 weeks from tomorrow, is graduation. Just a little insight there. I had one of those moments myself, so. Okay, our pledge leader representing Fort Sam Houston Elementary School is a member of Miss Freethy's 5th grade class. Our parents are Sergeants Sergio Romero and Mrs. Andrea Romero. Matthew and his family have been a part of Fort Sam Houston for 7 years. He has one sibling who attends Fort Sam Houston Elementary alongside him, Deegan Romero, in 3rd grade. His older brother, Sergio Romero, attends Cole High School, and his older sister, Nicole Romero, is currently studying at UTSA. Matthew's favorite subject in school is math because it's easy and fun. I told him that was a very hard subject for me in school, so I'm glad he masters that pretty good. When Matthew isn't at school, he enjoys reading books. He enjoys the Jack and Annie series the most. After Matthew graduates from high school, he would like to go to college and earn a degree in accounting. So, good job. Our pledger and high school inspirational moment will be Aiden Cook, who is a senior. Aiden, once again, is a senior here at Robert G. Cole High School and is getting ready to graduate and head to UTSA where he will study biochemistry. Had a little background discussion, offline discussion with Aiden. He wants to be a veterinarian, so very good. He's an active member of the Cole Cougar Band. He started playing in 6th grade and has been here at Cole since his sophomore year, where he moved from Ramstein, Germany. Since being in the band program here at Cole, Aiden has competed in the Association of Texas Small School Bands, Region Band auditions, the UIL Solo and Ensemble Contest, Marching Band, Concert Band, and the newly formed Jazz Band. Aiden has also earned honors in math and science and has competed in the UIL Math, where he got all positive scores. He is also on our Cole, esports video game team playing a game called Valorant. Am I right? Valorant? Valorant, I'm sorry. Where they advanced to the playoffs this year. So educate me, Aiden. What type of game is that?
It's like 5-on-5, and one person's attacking, and you have to plant a bomb, I guess.
Okay.
And the other team has to try and stop it and defuse it.
Very good, very good. And I just got back from a conference from North Carolina, and one of the things they were talking with us about superintendents about gaming and jobs for the future, and a lot of our kids to brand marketing and gaming is the way. So thank you. I was interested in that. So with that being said, stand up.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Cool. Good job. Good job.
Good morning. First, I would like to just thank y'all for giving me the opportunity to share my experiences here at Cole in the RGC band. I first joined the band in my 2nd semester of my sophomore year of high school, where I moved in from Germany, from Ramstein. My experiences here at the band, it was a really big change. My band in Germany was really small. We did not have as much of the opportunities as I did here. But as much as a big change it was, band community here just really made it easy for me to move into, because I've truly never experienced a band as great as the one we have here. Because every day I walk in, there's smiles on their faces, they're all welcoming, especially when I first moved here. They wouldn't let me just sit there and not say anything. They wanted to just keep asking questions. What do I play? What's my name? Where did I come from? Every single one of them asked me those questions, and it was great. So my first marching season was here, of my junior year. I didn't know marching was a thing. And they were just like, you dance, you march on the field, you make shapes, you play music all at once. And I was like, I don't know, we'll see. And then, but now that I've done it, now that I've truly experienced it, I love it with all my passion, and I went to go to college and continue doing marching band for UTSA. And then as much as we also dance on the field, we also dance in the stands. And I'm not one to dance, and I feel like now, whenever I play music, I always have to groove to it and dance. And it's just opened a whole lot more doors to me. It's just like, this is just a whole new passion. And like I said, it's really, I'm very introverted and all this stuff. I don't like talking to people, but the band really, like, I have changed drastically from being in this band program. I now talk to people, I'm open, I'm loud, and this band program just really it's like a second home to me. It's like my family. If I have any questions, if I have like any trouble somewhere else, I know I can trust the people at band. We all treat each other with respect. There's no toxicity or nothing. And if I were to say, I can't imagine graduating or leaving any other band than the one we have here. This band has shown me how to have confidence and do things outside of school, and it has just shown me how to just be me. Thank you.
Cool.
So Ada, did you share what instrument you play?
Oh,
It's critical.
I know. Sorry. So I'm a trumpet player. I've been perfecting it over my years, and actually tonight I am the herald trumpet at Fiesta. One of the selected few. If y'all were to come out and watch, I'll be representing our school. I'm right in front. I do the Star Spangled Banner with a bunch of other trumpets, and then I stand right in front of the center to play the songs.
Cool, good stuff, man.
That's phenomenal. And so what's critical is that, we pride ourselves being a value-based district. And the fact that you felt valued from day one, right, that speaks volumes, right? And so it allows you to pay it forward as well as you continue your journey of how you felt as you was actually coming on to a new organization, to a new school. So, no, thank you for sharing.
Well,
Hey, and I'd like to just say, first of all, thank you for sharing your introverted views. Because, oftentimes it's very difficult for us to speak out in front of people, not alone adults, but just our peers in general. But the fact that you had an opportunity to grow when you came here, it gives us encouragement for the rest of our students. And can you dance? Because you said you learned to dance, is what you stated.
No auditions here.
You said it. Did you learn?
I learned how to do.
I'm just kidding. Hey, thank you for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
Very good. Hey, guys, want to get on? Yeah. All right. Parents, we're going to come on up and got to join us. Look, man. We'll come on up, yes. You got it in front and center.
Nope, right here.
Right there.
We're a tall bunch.
All right, take a couple. 1, 2, 3. All right.
Cool.
Awesome. Great job.
Thank you, Mom.
That's a nice. Yeah. Thank you. Fantastic.
And he signed, Mr. Romero here, he signed up to be a 6th grade band member too. So
All right, here we go. Agenda item number 2 is a quorum. Let the record reflect the following personnel are present. Vice President, Mr. Aaron Braxton. Secretary, Dr. Latoya Sizer. Board Member, Colonel Rebecca Zanate. Board President, Mr. Woolley White. Not present, Board Member, Ms. Andrea Nicholas. Ms. Nicholas. Agenda item 3 is public comments. Board Policy BD local sets out the requirements for the public comments portion of a meeting. During the regular board meetings, public comments may address any topic, whether they're posted on the agenda or not. During special call meetings or work sessions, public comments are limited to the items posted on the agenda only. To participate in the public comment portion of a meeting, members of the public must sign their name on the sign-in sheet no later than 5 minutes before the meeting is scheduled to begin and shall indicate the topic about which they wish to speak. The sign-in sheet will be placed on a podium at the Professional Development Center located at 1908 Winans Road, San Antonio, Texas. A meeting of the Board of Trustees is a meeting of the board in the public, not a public meeting, which is to say that the audience participation at a board meeting is limited to the public comment section of the meeting. At all other times during the meeting, the audience shall not enter into a discussion or debate on matters being considered by the board. During public comment, the board may furnish specific factual information or recite policy by law. The board shall not deliberate or decide regarding any subject that is not included on the agenda for that meeting, and any deliberation or decision by the board will occur during the discussion of the agenda item and not during the public comment. During regular board meetings, public comments may address any topic, whether posted on the agenda item or not. During special call meetings or work sessions, public comments are limited to the items posted on the agenda only. In order to participate in the public comment portion of a meeting, members of the public must sign up with the presiding officer or designee no later than 5 minutes before the meeting is scheduled to begin and shall indicate the topic about which they wish to speak. Individuals may be given up to 3 minutes to speak during public comments. However, when necessary for effective meeting management or to accommodate large numbers of individuals wishing to address the board, the presiding officer may adjust to the public comment procedures, including adjusting when public comments will occur during the meeting, reordering of agenda items, deferring public comments on non-agenda items, continuing agenda items to a later meeting, providing expanded opportunity for the public comment, or adjusting the time allotted for each speaker. However, no individual shall be given less than 1 minute per person on the public comments. A member of the public who addresses the board through a translator shall provide a translator. A member of the public who addresses the board through translator must be given at least twice the amount of time as a member of the public who does not require a translator. The presiding officer or designee shall determine whether a person addressing the board has attempted to solve a matter administratively through resolution channels established by the policy. If not, the person's presentation shall be halted and the person shall be referred to the appropriate policy seeking the resolution. DGBA employee complaints, FNG student and parent complaints, GF public comments. There shall be no disruption of the meeting by the members of the audience. If after at least one warning from the presiding officer, any individual continue to disrupt the meeting by his or her words or action, the presiding officer may request assistance from law enforcement officials to remove the individual from the meeting. And once the individual is escorted off the premises, the person is not permitted to return during the meeting. Individuals with signs, props, or displays shall sit in the last row of the chairs or along the back wall so as not to interfere with the meeting or with the public observation of the meeting. During public comment, individuals shall not use the name of district employees or district students unless the student about whom they are speaking is of their own. Today we have two personnel for public comments. I have Mrs. Jennifer Cummings, correct?
Correct.
And also, I cannot read your first name, I'm sorry.
Joe
Miss-
Shellhart.
Is it
Joe.
Joe?
Yes.
Okay, Joe Sherhart. All right.
Ready?
Okay,
Okay.
let's begin.
I'll skip the pleasantries because clearly you don't care. I could talk about how teachers are ignored, how concerned parents are dismissed, how the last meeting was full of lies, but I won't waste my breath. When I raised concerns about retaliation, some of you chuckled. That reaction says everything. Let me be clear. Telling teachers, it hurts my heart to think that you think I would do that. That's intimidation. Newsflash, your feelings aren't our problems. You wanted leadership, then act like a leader. If you can't handle accountability without threatening people, you're in the wrong job. Pushing someone out of their job, that's retaliation. Gossiping about a parent who speaks up, that's a weak attempt to discredit and silence me. I would like to add, these incidents happened after I called you on it publicly. I've heard what was said. I'm not just a military wife with too much time on her hands. Have you forgotten who you serve? Military families. Using that to insult me shows how little respect you have for the people you're supposed to support. If you have something to say about me, you can say it now publicly. Honestly, I didn't think so. Honestly, I don't understand how leadership on this post lets you get away with threatening military families. People are scared to speak up, afraid their children will be targeted and their soldiers' careers will be affected. That's a disgrace. It reflects not just only on you, but every system that enables this behavior. This system allows for unchecked power to be, and allows you to give people positions so you can pad the votes. Your favorite line is, if you don't like it, leave. If so many people have a problem, then maybe ask, what's the common denominator? And don't try to pin this on one person. Accountability isn't your strong suit. As angry as I am about all that, nothing compares to what happened when I got an email about a bat in the library. I assumed that students were removed. I was wrong. Fisher declared it safe even though the staff said the bat was not found. Then you kept parents in the dark. People at this table said that parents do not need to know about that. Who do you think you are? You sent fourth graders, including my daughter, back into the library. She and her classmates ran out screaming during a lockdown. How dare you? How dare you treat my child and other people's children like they're expendable? How dare you gamble with their safety? You don't have any right to make reckless decisions about my child's health or anyone else's. Your job was to protect them. You crossed the line. If you think this will go away quietly, you're wrong. You endangered my child, and I will not forget that. Oh, and let's address the shady scheduling. Why are these meetings in the middle of the day when working parents can't attend? That's not a coincidence. That is a strategy, and we see it. And one more thing. You think that I'm just one person with a problem. You're wrong.
Time. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
We have Ms. Sherhart. Mr. Joe.
All right, guys. Members of the board, Ms. Hall, I have significant and ongoing concerns regarding the budgetary priorities within the district. It's not isolated, but rather a pattern that demands immediate attention and focus. It's troubling to observe the disparities between the district's apparent capacity to fund certain expenditures. It seems inability to address fundamental needs directly impacting our students. The prolonged lack of repair to the outdoor shade cover for the student pickup area, which is now fixed with, as you stated, 3 weeks left. You know, it's basic comforts and it protects them. It just serves as a concerning example of this imbalance. It raises serious questions how we can overlook such practical student needs while allocating significant funds for district employee travel. $44,000, $35,000 for the board just this year. The prioritization warrants a thorough reevaluation. Furthermore, the allocation of $45,000 for legal fees, particularly in context of restricting public information, is a matter of considerable concern. These resources could be directly invested back into our students' education, and their use in this matter necessities as a clear and transparent justification to the community. The absence of funding for field trips is also a serious issue. These experiences are vital to enrich our students' learning and should not be considered expendable, especially when other areas of the budget appear to be more readily funded. The observation of equipment meant for learning, equipment upwards in total of $35,000 in costs being used for non-instructional purposes in our school offices highlight the potential disconnect between resources allocations and effective utilization. Ensuring that equipment purchased for our students is readily accessible and actively used for its intended purpose is a matter of responsible physical management. The previous discussion to assign a sole oversight of the construction work to a single individual remains a point of unease. Implementing appropriate checks and balances in the management of district funds is crucial for maintaining transparency and accountability. Finally, the recent incidences regarding the inaccurate presentation of the curriculum supported underscores the critical need for thorough vetting. The information before decisions are made, hasty decisions based on incomplete and inaccurate data, can have significant negative consequences for our students' education. As stewards of our children's educational future, it's imperative that this board carefully consider these concerns by adopting a more balanced and transparent approach to the budget. Decisions, prioritizations, essential student needs, and ensuring responsible resource manager, we can collectively work towards providing the best possible educational environment for every student here in the district. The willingness to reconsider board meeting schedules to accommodate parents is a positive step. I urge the board to extend this thoughtful consideration to all aspects of district operations. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Agenda item 4 is achievements and special recognition. Board members, got any comments? Achievements? Okay. Hearing none. Agenda item number 5, superintendent's report.
Okay, Mr. President, board members, faculty, staff, thank you. Y'all received a one-pager in your packet, my report. If there's any questions, please let me know. The only thing I need to comment on is the report is letter H, update and timeline regarding FSHISD mission, vision, and goals. We will have a Dr. Brennan coming June at our June board meeting to start this process. I apologize, I was going to bring this out in March, but unfortunately I was not able to attend. But she will be coming in March to give the processes for our strategic mission. And just to let you know, this is not going to be a one night, two night. It's going to consist of several months, several meetings, if approved. So that's all I have. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Bates. Agenda item number 6 is the minutes for the regular business meeting of March 27, 2025. Do we have a motion?
Mr. President, I motion to approve the minutes from the regular business meeting of the Board of Trustees held on March 27, 2025 as submitted.
Is there a second? A second. All in favor?
Rebecca Zamonte.
Aaron Braxton, second.
Ivan's White Sizer.
I, Willie White, majority vote, the motion passes. Agenda item number 7 is the update regarding the 2025 construction project. There is no action needed, discussion only. At this time.
Oh, you got the com.
You got the
Good morning.
comment.
Okay, good morning.
I'm Bo with Clinkham Associates. It's great to see you guys again. Thank you for the opportunity to be here and to speak with you guys. Dr. Bates asked us to give a brief update on where we are in the process. We're not actually into the construction just yet. We're still in the design process. We've had one design programming meeting where we went through all the spaces in your new facility and put basically names on all the spaces to make sure that we have all the people covered, with some room for growth as well. We have had a follow-up meeting to that programming meeting where we were actually looking at preliminary plans and site plans where the building will be located adjacent to your technology building. That we made some great progress. We've also had another couple of updates even as recent as this morning. So we will continue. This is normal. We need to get the building, especially the floor plan, laid out so that it functions like you guys need it to function. So now's the time to be making those kinds of changes. So everything's going great as far as the design goes. The other part of that is the technical side. Before we get started on the project, we typically need geotech information so we can see how your soils are, what your foundations are going to be like. And then also survey requirements, that's in the works. And then also because we're going to be building, well, we won't be building, but we're designing a building that will be built adjacent to your technology building, we need to get asbestos information. And so that building, David assures us we already have a report that says there's no asbestos in that building, so we're good to go there. So we kind of have those things going on while we're working on the design. Anything else, Dr. Bates?
You covered the gamut of it.
Y'all have any questions?
Appreciate the update.
Thank you guys.
Thanks.
Y'all
All right.
are awesome.
Appreciate
Have a
it.
great day. Have a good festival weekend.
Thank you.
Absolutely, you too. Happy Fiesta. Agenda item 8 is a closed meeting as authorized by the Texas Government Code Section 551.074. Personnel matters. Discussion regarding superintendent and board roles, responsibilities, and duties. Discussion regarding certified, non-certified probationary term contract. Discussion regarding letters of reasonable assurance for paraprofessional support and auxiliary personnel for the 2025-2026 school year. And deliberation regarding security devices of our security audits. Discussion of a district-wide intruder detection audit report. The time is into open meeting to consider and take actions as necessary on items discussed in closed session. For the record, Colonel Rebecca Zanate had to depart from the board at 12:35 p.m. 12:35. Agenda item 10 is announcements, actions, items regarding personnel matters. Agenda item 11 is the announcement, actions, items regarding superintendent and board member roles, duties, and assignments. That is just, we discussed for discussion. Agenda item number 12, announcement, actions, items regarding certified, non-certified, and probationary term contract renewals for the 2025-2026 school year. Do we have a motion for this agenda item?
Mr. President, I recommend approving the certified, non-certified, and probationary term contract renewals for the 2025-2026 school year as submitted on the attached list.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
I, Latoya Sizer.
Aaron Braxton, second.
I, Willie White, the majority vote, the motion passes. Excuse me. Agenda item 13 is the announcement items regarding letters of reasonable assurance for paraprofessional support and auxiliary personnel. We had the list that was attached there. It's info only. But were there any, no questions? Okay. Agenda item 14 is the announcement, actions, items regarding discussion of district-wide intruder detection audit reported findings. The district is committed to keeping the students and staff safe every day. Recently, the Texas Education Agency conducted a required intruder detection audit at one of our campuses. The Board of Trustees has reviewed the results of the audit in closed session. It is in the best interest of the students that we do not share details about the audit to the public in order that the campus security information is not compromised. We thank our district and campus administrators for keeping the safety of our students and staff members as our top priority. Agenda item number 15 is the financial report for March 2025. Any questions, board members? Anything? Is there a motion for this agenda item?
Mr. President, I recommend adopting the financial report for March 2025 as submitted.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor?
I, Aaron Braxton, the second.
I, Latoya Sizer.
Aye, Willie White. Majority vote, the motion passes. Agenda item 16 is a recommendation to approve bank depository services for the period September 1, 2025 through August 31, 2027. Any questions? Any questions? Hearing no questions, is there a motion for this agenda item?
Mr. President, I recommend approving the bank depository services for the period September 1, 2025 through August 31, 2027.
Is there a second?
A second.
All in favor?
I, Latoya Sizer.
I, Aaron Braxton, the second.
Aye, Willie White. Majority vote, the motion passes. Agenda item 17 is a recommendation for pay rates for the 2025 summer instructional programs. All right, we got some staff speaking.
Ms. Novak.
Oh, on this one? Yeah. So currently, for any type of extra duty for our professional staff, the rate's $38. That rate has not changed in several years. Dr. Sultan checks some surrounding districts, and the rates for summer teachers coming in during the summer, the rates vary from $40 to $50 an hour. She's recommending that for the instructional programs we have during the summer, we raise it to $45. And that will also be when I bring the compensation plan to you later in the summer, you'll see, a similar amount there so that we've got it covered there. But it's to help us recruit and retain the staff that we need during the summer programs, instructional programs.
Okay, board members, any comments, questions? Okay, hearing none, is there a motion for this agenda item?
Mr. President, I recommend approving the pay rates for the 2025 summer instructional program as submitted and as discussed.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor?
I, Aaron Braxton, the second.
I, Latoya Sizer.
Aye, Willie White. Majority vote, the motion passes. Agenda item 18 is a recommendation to approve the certification of provision of instructional material. Is that you?
And
There we
Mr.
go.
Bain
Right
is
on
up
time.
to speak on it.
You're up.
You haven't been any more perfect.
That was perfect.
Because I about to step in.
You got it.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, sir.
So this document, the teach certification, the annual document that we have to present to the state of Texas to be able to order materials from the Instructional Materials Fund. And they changed the name of it to the Certification of Provision of Instructional Materials this year. And so basically what it is, it's all the different grade levels divided into elementary, middle school, and high school. And the instructional materials that we bought this past year, or before that we used this past year, and in order to cover the TEKS. And so the idea is that if we've used instructional materials fund in the past, that stuff that we bought should fall on this list. It's kind of like the checks and balances. And so what we need to do is just, it has to be board approved. So all the districts in the state of Texas can order materials from this fund. It's like a nest egg based on how many kids you got. And it's there for everybody to use if they're going to purchase materials just for the TEKS. And you have to certify that you're going to use it appropriately, and that's why we have to have it board approved. And so once we turn that in, and I'll back up a second, we do this all year long until the end of March. At the end of March, that platform that you order the materials on closes down, and you can't access it anymore. And you have to recertify. So all the districts in the state of Texas are doing the same thing in April and beginning of May, getting their certification in so that they can get to that nest egg. And so what I need is just to be board approved. Then the last page on there is a document that needs to be signed by the board president. and as well as the board secretary, Mr. White and Dr. Sizer. And then I'll submit it to the state on behalf of the district, and then when it opens back up in May, in the middle of May usually, then we can start ordering materials for the next school year.
Cool. Good deal. All right, board members, questions for Mr. Bain? Comments? All right, hearing none, do we have a motion for this non-agenda item?
Mr. President, I recommend approving the provision of instructional materials which certifies that for each subject in the required curriculum in each grade level, the district provides each student with textbooks, electronic textbooks, or instructional materials that cover all elements of the essential knowledge and skills adopted by the State Board of Education for that subject and grade level as submitted.
Is there a second?
A second.
All in favor?
I, Latoya Sizer.
I, Aaron Bryson, a second.
Aye, Willie White. The majority vote, the motion passes. Thank you, Dr. Baines, and Mr. Baines, for what you do.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Sign these so that we can
Yep.
take this one.
Okay. You want us-
It's due today.
Yes, ma'am.
Today's the first.
Yep, thank you.
Certification of provision of instructional materials survey 2025-26 has just been signed. Thank you.
And delivered.
And delivered.
Thank you, guys. Have a good weekend.
Agenda item 19 is the TASB initiated policy update 124. We have this in our packet there.
Dr. Schmidt?
Yes, you also have a memo that Ms. Timmons gave you, so
Yes.
if you'll, pull that out. So, it's another update, policy 124 from Texas Association of School Boards. It includes recent changes and recent administrative rules and Commissioner Ed rulings. So therefore, several local policies have been updated. It's also many revisions to legal policies based on legislative and regulatory changes from the 89th legislature. And so here are the topics for you: financial ethics, investments, intellectual property, employee standards of conduct, special programs, gifted and talented students, child abuse and neglect, conduct on school premises. So we are asking for your approval to update these local policies. CAA local, which is under the fiscal management of financial ethics. CDE local, other revenue investments. CY local, intellectual property. DH local, employee standards of conduct. EHB local, curriculum design, special programs. EHBB local, special programs, gifted and talented students. FFG local, student welfare, child abuse and neglect. And then GKA local, community relations, conduct on school premises. And so we are asking for your approval. If you have any questions, I'll take them at this time. Pretty standard
Yep,
what I
pretty
went
standard.
through. It wasn't anything, because I usually come and give you things that might have stood out or highlights or something different.
Right.
Nothing that stood out.
All right. Board members, do we have a motion for this agenda item?
Mr. President, I recommend adding and revising and deleting the following local policies as offered by TASB Policy Service for consideration and according to the instruction sheet for TASB Localized Policy Manual Update 124, CAA local, CDA local, CY local, DH local, EHB local, EHBB local, FFG local, and GKA local.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor?
I, Aaron Bryson, a second.
I, Latoya Sizer.
Aye, Willie White. The majority vote, the motion passes. Thank you. Agenda item 20 is report only. Agenda item 20, K-5 Reading and Language Arts Instructional Materials Update.
Okay. We came to you guys in March with this same agenda topic to kind of give you an update of where we've been and where we were thinking of going. But I want to put this in context for you to report out. The State Board of Education, under House Bill 1605, now has the authority to vet instructional materials and approve them. It is still up to a local school district decision to take what's on that list or not, right? We currently have a RLA curriculum K through 5 that is not on the State Board of Education list. Every year, vendors will submit again, and so they'll have an opportunity to submit this year. And like I said, in March, you'll have to wait another year to see if they get through the process and make it. But with that being said, when we got the first list out of approved, that was right before the holidays. So what we started doing in the spring was working with the instructional coaches and teachers during PLC, using the TEA rubrics and going through all the curriculum. And again, this takes a lot of time. And even when I came to you in March, we were still looking at it. And so we had hundreds of lessons per grade level, K through 5. So as we were doing that, I wanted to give you an update of where we were back then. We also had a survey sent out to parents. We also had one parent meeting. We had slated to have 2, but I made the decision not to recommend going forward with this curriculum. And why it was we kept looking at the lessons. The purpose of a high-quality instructional material is that it gives a teacher everything they need. They don't have to, they can make tweaks, they can do things to it, but it really truly gives them everything they need aligned to the TEKS and on grade level. So when you went into the literacy part, not the phonics piece, not the foundation piece, the literacy piece, they put the elephant in the room and they mixed in the religion with it. So what we did was we thought, okay, could we take this little piece? It got to be so overwhelming that it ruined it defeated the purpose of a high quality material. So I went back to PLC and shared everything, and I said, I'm not comfortable recommending it. So at this time, we're not gonna move forward with K through 5 RLA Bluebonnet recommendation. We're gonna stick with HMH. But one of our major gaps, as I stated in the parent meeting, and the teachers are aware of it too, is that early childhood foundation, phonics, teaching kids how to read, the science of reading. We have gaps there. So does every district in the United States. And the science of reading is now been put out. And so for us, we have gaps there, and like I presented to you, it's choppy. So what we're looking at is, right now we're looking at HMH to see if they filled in those gaps for us for next year. If they have not, there is a partial subject tier approval for phonics, and they have many vendors, and Amplify is one of them, and Amplify was free for us last year, so we started looking at it a little bit. So we're gonna set up a meeting with Amplify. I may come forward in June with a recommendation for phonics K through 3, but it has nothing to do with the elephant in the room or the religious controversy. It's teaching kids how to read, which, as you know, is very crucial. But that's what we're working through right now. Timeline-wise, this is TEA timeline. They came out with their first list. This is new for the state board, and so we worked as fast as we could. And when we had these parent meetings, we were still looking at curriculum like I told them. So, but right now, I'm not comfortable recommending the whole thing for Bluebonnet at this time. So I just wanted to give you an update where we are, and I will let you know how the phonics thing plays out also.
Absolutely.
Questions?
No, I appreciate the
Yeah, I
fact that you
appreciate
had a
it.
meeting with the families, right, and allow them to actually be engaged
In
in
the
that
survey.
conversation, because they're a big part of that teaching and learning
Yeah.
for the kids, so I love it, so I appreciate it.
And you know, it's controversial, and it's sad that we have to deal with controversy, but, and it shouldn't have any play in education, but it did. So that's where we're at. But if it's gonna be too much work for them, it defeats the purpose of a high quality material. So that's where we're at.
Awesome.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chanel. Agenda item 21 is the 2025-2026 Fort Sam Houston ISD Employee Board of Trustees Responsible Use Agreement for Technology Resources. Should not be used to repeat. Any comments? Hearing none, is there a motion for this agenda item?
That's it, that's annual.
Yeah.
All signed.
Every year. Is there a motion for this agenda item?
Mr. President, I recommend approving the 2025-2026 Fort Sam Houston ISD Employee/Board of Trustees Responsible Use Agreements for Technology Resources as submitted.
Is there a second?
A second.
All in favor?
I, Latoya Sizer.
Aaron Bryson, the second.
Aye, Willie White. Majority vote, motion passes. Agenda item number 22 is the proposed Fort Sam Houston ISD regular business meeting for the 2025-2026 school year. We have Dr. Bates.
Okay, March, from my understanding, this agenda item was tabled Was told to me that we need to go back and try to get some alternatives. So, speaking with executive cabinet, I just put option A, option B. Option A is our regular times that we have board meetings. Now, please understand if there's something that comes up, conference X, Y, and Z, we can always amend that and go another time, another day, as we did this one. And option B gives us an alternative, 1 month 11, the other month 3 p.m. and go forth from there. I want it to be respectful because I always want to go in mind. I know there's been concerns, but this is a meeting of the board. So that's kind of where I lied at. We laid both option A, option B, and that's y'all had this, so it's y'all's vote, y'all's call.
Okay, so what we're discussing is whether we remain with the same time frame of the board meetings, of our board meetings, or we make it an adjustment to change the time frames of the board meetings in an alternate way.
Yes, moving one of the alternate, like from a 1 month from 11, and the next month at a 3 p.m.
Right.
Same on Thursdays. But with that, depending on how much is on the agenda item on the agenda, I know we do run into ball games and things of that nature on Thursdays. I believe middle school and JV at those times. So that's another factor to put in the back of your mind.
So board members, what are your thoughts? Any comments?
So where did the 3 p.m. come from? Just a number that was just pulled out?
That's what was, I thought.
That's what I heard one of the board members say when we were.
Yes.
Well, I heard her mention just a minute ago before the board meeting was 4 p.m.
Okay.
And so I wasn't sure about the 3 p.m. either.
Yeah, it was 3 p.m. that she had stated, that the board member had stated.
Last month.
Last month.
Okay.
Yes. So that's what this was based off of.
So will we have an issue if we moved it to 4 p.m.? Like what pushback, like what issues do you foresee? Because, the whole reason wasn't because, we're trying to do it at the end of the day, duty day, for some board members. So I wasn't sure with 4 p.m., is that not on the table? Is that not doable? Or something?
You gotta,
This is y'all. I mean, we could. Yeah.
so, the issue that I have, you have any comments right now?
No, I just want clarification.
Yeah.
We're talking about alternating the months. So 1 month it would be as is,
Mhm.
and the next month it would be 4 p.m.
Right.
Yeah, the alternate. I think that's B, option B. We would
Option.
opt 1 month at 3 at 11, and then if 3 or 4 for the next month, whatever the board decides.
Right. So the issue that I have is that the 11 o'clock board meeting, and I'm speaking for myself, works for me. When I decided to run for the board, I looked at my schedule in which I work, and that time frame of the day works. It works. And so knowing that is why I stated I could do the 11 o'clock meetings. There are a lot of things that I do in the afternoon that would interfere with having late board meetings. Each one of us, when we decided to run, and I'm not speaking for you, but when you decided to run for the board, knew what time the meetings were gonna be. And I would have a hard time with my schedule in the afternoon, speaking for Mr. White, I would have a hard time meeting a lot of these because I have other engagements, other boards that I actually belong to in doing so. I think my recommendation only, Mr. White, is as we bring on, new board members, I think we need to reinforce over and over about the timelines in which the board is gonna be held. And if things change while you are on the board, if your job change, your position change, maybe the board may be for you, maybe the board may not be for you. if you can't make the meetings. But if the majority of folks knew that the time frame was gonna be 11 o'clock, I just, personally, I won't be able to adjust to the different times. But that's the whole reason why I joined. That's why I took this on, because I knew I could do it during the duty day based off my schedule. So I recommend on myself to leave the time frame as it is. Board members, please share your thoughts.
So, the time we do it now works for me, and I can be flexible, but at the same time, if we push it back, I would like to see what the cost analysis is for, our staff, faculty to be here past their duty day, to pay them overtime or whatever. I would like to know what that is before I make a decision.
That's fair.
Well, you know, unfortunately, we can't table it, because we've already tabled it once.
Yes.
It has to be voted on today.
You can bring it up
Yeah, we
again.
can't table it, kick it down the road again.
Can't kick it down the road, but we can always bring it back up, depending on what you guys think, with the majority here now.
So you gonna have one table item?
Yes.
Yes.
Can't have two.
Okay.
Back to back.
Back to back.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so, I'm flexible, but just hearing the two other board members, have brought up some concerns, right? And that's been a concern, for most people that's on the board, and you're right, Mr. Wright, right? We knew what we were signing up for, but, we have the power to change it, ultimately. And so, I guess it's the environment that we're in that is causing a lot of angst. I'm just being honest with you. With our current landscape of being in the government. So I recommend option B, that we support our other colleagues, that it's a tough environment right now, and everyone is they're going through it so they can grow through it. And, I would just hate that we don't support the other colleagues. And who knows, right? Kind of like what you said other days, right? We can make adjustments again. But I just think with this current landscape, I think it's some fear. I think it's some unknowns. I think it's just doing the right thing. But again, I recommend option B.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so, I recommend, to remain with option A. Again, this would have an impact on Mr. White, after hours, commitments that I've committed to. And so, I say no, remain on option A.
So I guess I'm the tiebreaker. I'm gonna go with option A, and the reason is I would like more information on how much it's going to cost us in the long run, for overtime, et cetera, to switch to evenings.
Ms. Novak can, will help provide that, information for us at a later
We
time.
can get that in the next board meeting, yes, sir.
Roger.
We can get that at the next board meeting.
With 3 board members present and 2 board members voting against the change of the time frame of the board meetings, one board member voted to make a change, adjustment to the time. The majority vote 2-1. At this point, the board meeting times will remain the same. We will find out, one of the board members asked that we get financial data on what the cost effect would be to have afternoon meetings for the school district.
Can I have just a
Yes.
point of order, right? And so we're talking about cost analysis for after hours, but it's a cost analysis of what they're here today. They're eating up time that they could then spend doing their jobs, right? And so that's part of the cost, right? Because you could have been doing your jobs. So I think either way, the cost is the cost, right? Whether it's after hours or is it now? Because you could have been doing your jobs, but we chose to bring you here doing the duty day. And so the cost is the cost, from my perspective, as an administrator, because I'm taking your time now that you could be doing your job. And so now that's gonna be pushed over to the next day, because you spent your time here. And so I just wanted to share that from a point of order, that I just believe that the cost is the cost, because you're here now, that we're eating up your time that you could be doing your job, right? And so.
I disagree with you, because just like if you're in a meeting on your job, part of your job is attending meetings during the day. If you're there till 8 or 9 in the evening, the government's gonna pay you overtime or comp time for that. So we have a disagreement on, it's a cost in everything we do, but if they're here till 10 o'clock at night, that's a different cost. So I still stand by my decision. I would like to see what that's going to cost.
Yes, ma'am. We tie that tomorrow.
I'm sorry, sir.
We just tie that, because again, you can look at that, just like, the principals and everything else.
Mhm.
Yeah, we can look at that cost. I would love to see it as well.
Yeah.
It's been tracking.
So just to reiterate, as of now, the board, majority stated to remain, board meeting times as they currently are.
So option A.
Option A will be, the recommendation. So having stated so, board members, do I have a motion for this agenda item?
Mr. President, I recommend approving the proposed Fort Sam Houston option A, regular business meetings for the 2025-2026 school year as submitted.
Is there a second?
We just had,
Well-
go ahead.
On the second, you can, agree or disagree.
Mr. President, I go.
Before or against, I'm sorry, before or against.
Against.
One board member is against, one board member is for, and I'm for option A also. Okay. So there will be additional information provided as of now. The district will continue to move forward with the 11 o'clock meetings. Agenda item number 23, is there a motion to adjourn?
Mr. President, I make a recommendation that we adjourn.
The meeting is adjourned. The time is now 1:30 p.m. I'd like to thank everyone for attending this board meeting. Thank you.